This is Catie from Untitled Yoga. I'm going to guide you through a 60-minute hot yoga practice. Hopefully you'll enjoy doing it at home. I know it's not quite the same as the studio, but just get yourself a nice little space heater, humidifier, and you'll be ready to go. I will just let you know also that I'm in my second trimester of pregnancy, so when we get to the floor series, I'll be doing a few modifications. But for the most part, right along with you there, we're going to start with our set of Pranayama Breathing, just one long set of 10. So let's go ahead, bring those toes and heels together, starting at the center of the mat, starting to firm up the upper thighs, drop the shoulders out of the ears. Find your full interlaced grip, drawing the knuckles under the chin, elbows close together towards the waist. Take an exhale breath through the nose. And begin. 6-second inhale breath through the nose. And 6-second out through the mouth. Inhale, lengthening the spine in two directions, pulling the shoulders out of the ears, lengthening through the crown of the head. And exhale, gently allowing the knuckles to press into the chin, lengthening the front of the throat. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, pulling the shoulders down out of the ears, framing the face with the forearms and pressing the chin to the top of the knuckles. And exhale, tilting the head straight back and drawing the elbows to close at the last breath. Inhale, still firming up upper thighs, pressing the heels into the floor, pulling the shoulders down. And exhale, this is your halfway point if you want to change the grip. Inhale. And let it go. Last breath. Change, going back into your mountain pose, pausing for one breath cycle, and then beginning your first asana of the day, Ardha Chandrasana. Reach the arms up overhead, find your steeple grip, release the index fingers, cross the thumbs, and start your warm-up, moving the upper body to the right and to the left, making sure the feet haven't migrated from that opening position. Still trying to get those big toes to touch, those upper thighs strongly engaged, lengthening through the lateral sheath. And returning yourself back to center, starting to hug the upper thighs, draw the upper arms close to the sides of the head, press the palms together. Inhale, lengthen fingertips to ceiling, and exhale, fold to the right. Trying to press the left hip to the left side of the room. Reach your right hip to the left and lengthen both arms further over to the right side of the room. Chin stays out of the throat. Keeping that soft, easy gaze in front of you. Trying to keep the upper arms firm, hugging elbows tight, wrists closer together, palms tighter together. Using the right arm to gently reach and extend the left arm further over to the right side of the room. Making sure the hips stay in line with the shoulders. Right shoulder tilts just a hair forward, left shoulder towards the back of the room. Keep spreading the toes wide. Soften the face, the eyebrows, the jaw, the tongue. Every inhale, lengthen. Every exhale, fold. Final breath. And change, coming back through center, drawing the weight into the heel, starting to reaffirm upper thighs, reaffirm the arms. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. the better part of a minute, lengthening through the breath, folding this time to the left as the hips press to the right. Keeping lots of space in the left side body as well. Making sure you're not crunching or folding into the ribs. Still keeping the breaths as long and smooth, just as you did in that pranayama breathing. Last 2 long breaths, press the heels down, lengthen through the fingertips, inhale. Exhale to fold. Last breath cycle. And change. First back bend, drawing the weight into the heels. Toes are light and spread wide. Firming the upper arms against the sides of the head. Tuck the tailbone towards the heels. Take an inhale, breath, lengthen. Exhale, extend the hips forward towards the toes. Lifting through the upper back. Pressing the heart against the ceiling tiles. Turning the gaze up towards the ceiling if the neck allows. Maybe even starting to lift the nose and the chin, exposing the throat. Squeeze and hug the shoulder blades together. Press the heels down. Thighs and knees back, hips forward. And change, come up. Take your U-turn, dive down, fingertips to the floor, bend the knees. And taking your warm-up of choice, whether that's just allowing the head to shake, yes and no. Bending into the knees, lifting the heels. Whatever warm-up feels good for your body here. And moving into Padahastasana now, hands to feet pose. Bend the knees deep. Reach the hands back around behind the heels, sliding the fingertips under the heels, elbows reach back. Press the heels into the floor. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. Find your forehead to make connection, and then lift the sits bones up towards the ceiling. Change. Remove the fingertips from underneath the heels. Come back to your steeple grip. Inhale to stand. And exhale, reach the arms down to the side. Pause for a breath cycle. And preparing your second set of Ardha Chandrasana with your second set hand grip. Reaching the arms overhead, awkward thumb grip. This time the pose is for 30 seconds. Press the heels down, lengthen fingertips to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale to begin. Change. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold left. Change. Second back, bend the weight in the heels, toes light. Inhale. And exhale, back bend. Change. Second U-turn. Second forward fold and warm up here. just dangle between the shoulders. Second round, hands to feet pose. Change. Returning to your steeple grip. Inhale to stand. Exhale, arms down to the side and pause. One set of Utkatasana pose, long set. Separating the feet hip width distance, turning the toes slightly in, heels directly behind the second toe. Extending both arms forward. Starting to lift the heart and chest, pull the shoulders down out of the ears. Inhale, and exhale, sink back into your chair. Still lengthening all 10 fingertips forward, but reaching the sits bones back and down. Pressing the weight into the heels so you're not gripping those toes down into the floor. And then finding that little heart lift so you're not caving down over the top of those thighs. Keeping wrists, knees, and heels equal distance here, just so you can see from the side. I want to try to get those thighs parallel towards the floor. So instead of lifting up here, see if you can really lower that seat down, keep the heart lifted, pull the shoulders back, keep the belly lifted as much as possible away from the top of those thighs. And change, keep the arms firm. Come to stand. Part two, peeling the heels away from the floor. Trying to maintain your balance on the pads of the feet, again, without gripping toes down towards the floor. And then once the heels are lifted, starting to press the tops of the feet forward, exposing as much of the sole of the foot as possible. Keeping shoulders stacked over hips, hips stacked over heels. Keep engaging the core, keep firming the arms. And change. Part three, go ahead and draw the knees together. Lift the heels an inch or two away from your mat. Keep shoulders stacked over hips, hips stacked over heels, and lower down. Keep the hips hovered above the heels, the hips hovered above the knees. Spine stays straight, core stays strong. Lifting through the crown of the head and pulling the shoulders down and out of the ears. Change. Eagle pose is next, just a single long set. Bringing toes and heels back together, center of the mat. Arms reach up overhead, palms touch. Right arm swings underneath the left. Option for a double wrap at the wrist if that's not available, opting for your shoulder to shoulder grip. Bending into both knees. Send the right leg up and over the left. Again, second option to bring the right foot behind the left calf. Then draw everything back to center. Bend deeper into the left standing leg. In the Bikram version of the pose, dragging the elbows down towards the hips, but lifting the heart towards the ceiling, lengthening the spine. Trying to grip the right leg tighter on top of the left. Keep sinking deeper into the left leg. Keep the toes light, keep pressing into the big toe pad of the left foot. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Change. Left arm under right. Option to double wrap or find your shoulder to shoulder grip. Bend into the right leg, send the left leg over. Aligning elbows, nose, knees, and toes. Pulling the left hip to the back of the room, pressing your right hip forward. Change. Time for your water break, so you can go ahead and grab your water. Especially during pregnancy, I'll be taking a lot of these. Moving now into our standing balancing series. So coming back to the mat, starting with toes and heels together. We're going to start with Pranayama Breathing, standing forehead to knee. So start by firming up the left leg. Inhale the right thigh to parallel, pull the toes towards the face. And starting here, and moving the pose along at your pace. Starting with that strong, sturdy left leg. Try not to bend or cave into the left knee. Pressing the heel into the floor, the big toe ball mounted, and spreading those toes out wide on the floor. Trying to keep the right thigh parallel. The knee and heel are directly in one line, toes pulling back towards the face. You also have 2 sets of this pose, so going at a pace that's appropriate. When you're ready, taking your full interlace grip to the top of the knee, or lifting the belly, rounding forward, and grabbing underneath the right foot, still keeping those toes flexed. Last few moments here. Change, bringing the right foot down to meet the left, coming back to stand. Drawing all the weight, energy, and attention into the right side as then you lift that left foot to parallel. Starting our clock here. Really lifting the belly high, rounding and puffing through the upper back, allowing you more space to fold over the left leg, and especially when you're ready to move into the full expression. Then a little bit easier to draw the heart closer to the front of the shin, allowing you to close those elbows down and around the calf. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and change. Coming back to stand, pausing the center mat. Second set of your standing balancing posture, just 30 seconds. You can opt for your second set hand grip, firming up the left leg. Inhale the right thigh to parallel, toes flex. Exhale, begin. Change. Side 2, firming the right leg. Inhale, left thigh to parallel. And exhale, begin. Change. Second standing balancing pose, down Pranayama Breathing, standing bow pulling. Just giving myself a little room away from the wall there. Drawing the attention back into the strong left leg, right palm faces up towards the ceiling without flipping that wrist. Reach the arms straight back. Grab hold of the right foot from the inside, so just so you can see here, the inside grip as opposed to the outside grip, trying to open up that shoulder. Extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. And begin. So you have, again, a minute here on the first set. Paying attention to your strong standing left leg. Lengthening through the left fingertips. Pulling the right shoulder down out of the ear and firming that right thigh. Squaring the hips to the front of the room as you begin the pose. When you feel steady, sturdy, and balanced on that left leg, beginning your kick. Drawing the right heel away from the seat. The right knee directly back behind you. Using the right hand to help lift those right toes up and overhead. And lengthening through the left arm. Change. Coming back to stand center mat. Firming the right leg this time, taking the right palm up to face the ceiling. Your left palm up to face the ceiling. Drop the left arm straight back, and from the inside, taking hold of the left foot as the right arm reaches towards the ceiling. Start by finding that deep, long, full breath. Firming the right leg, lengthening through the right fingertips. Firing up the left quad, which is that gentle kick of the foot into the hand. And then again, when you're ready, starting to kick and reach the left heel away from the seat. Last few moments, one more inhale, one more exhale, and change. Definitely yoga practice, not yoga perfect, so every day you come to the mat feels a little bit different. Second set, you're standing, go pulling that right palm up towards the ceiling, reaches straight back and down. Left arm up, inhale. And begin, 30 seconds. Change. Last time on the left, firming the right leg. Right arm up, inhale. And begin. Change. For my hour series, I just do one long set of 2 Dandasana balancing stick pose, but feel free to add in that second set if you like. Again, stepping a little bit forward, I'm close to that wall behind me. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, find your steeple grip. Step forward on the right foot, drawing all the weight forward. I always like to cue to kind of square that left hip forward so you're less likely to externally rotate on your dive down. Inhale, and exhale, begin. Keeping the gaze several feet in front of your right foot, firming the elbows around the sides of the head. Keeping the chin out of the throat, pressing the palms together, Firming your left thigh, lifting through the back knee, the back heel, the back toe. 3, 2, 1. Stepping forward on the left foot. Inhale. Exhale, begin. Change. We'll be transitioning to our separate leg stretching poses. I'm just going to tilt my mat sideways a little bit here. Always a good time to grab a sip of water. For our hour series, we'll be linking all 3 poses together. So starting on the left side of your mat, Pranayama Breathing, Paschimottanasana, standing separate leg stretch. Arms up overhead, palms touch. Stepping the feet out wide, wider if you've got those tight hamstrings. Turning the toes in, the heels slightly out. Firm the upper arms and press the chest forward. Again, trying to avoid that rounding in the back. Take an inhale, breath, lift the belly. Exhale, fold. Drawing the hands down. If you're more flexy, those hands might come underneath the arches of the foot or behind the heels. If you're less flexible there, then grabbing the outer ankles, outer calves, or outer knees. And then again, attempting to realign that strong, straight spine. So I like to take a soft bend in my knees, turn the gaze forward. Soft bend in the elbows to lengthen the spine, pull the crown of the head forward, shift the shoulders back out of the ears, and reach your sits bones up towards the ceiling. Press the pinky side edge of the foot into the floor. And if the hamstrings allow, start to press into the heels, straighten the legs, keeping the spine long. Lengthen the breath. Pull the belly away from the top of the thighs. Shifting a little more weight forward into the pads of the feet for a deeper stretch. 3, 2, 1, and change. Come up. Trikonasana, Bikram's version of triangle. Take the right foot, turn it to the right side of the room. Lining up the heels, the left foot turns slightly in. That's your break there. Take a deep bend into the right knee. Stop when the knee is directly over the ankle. Nice 90-degree bend. Lengthen the right fingertips. Lengthen your right side waist. Drop the right arm to the inner right leg. Lengthen your left fingertips towards the ceiling. Get us on the clock here. Opening through the front of the chest. Lengthening through both arms, so not lazy arms, lengthening through both arms. Firing up your back leg, the left thigh, really firming and pressing your left heel down into the floor. Press into your right heel instead of the right toes digging down into the floor. Better able to firm the right leg, nearly there. Change. Turn the toes to the left. Realign the heels if necessary. Bend into the left knee, lengthen. Left arm down, right arm up. Change. Turning both feet back to face the front of the room. Shortening your stance 2 or 3 feet. Arms up overhead, thumbs crossed. Pranayama Breathing, coming to the right side of the room. Take your left hip with you. Maybe left toes facing towards a slight angle. If balance is quite difficult, make sure that you're not in that tightrope stance, that you're more in a railroad track stance. Take your inhale. Exhale, rounding and forward folding over the front leg. The options for the hands here for balance, you can separate the hands on either side of the foot. Then we want to work on your forehead to knee connection. So start bending into the right knee, tucking the chin, and pressing forehead to knee. Trying to square the hips. So reach my right hip back, press the left hip forward, lift the belly, and round over the front leg. If you're able to with balance, drawing the hands back together to prayer. If the hands did separate, draw them back together to prayer. Press the heels into the floor, keep the chin tucked, and uncurl one vertebrae at a time. Spinning around, face the opposite side of the room, left foot leads. Inhale. Exhale, round and fold. Change. Stepping right foot back to left, pausing on the left side of your mat. Full breath cycle here. And your second set of separate leg stretching back to DBP. Arms up overhead. Big wide step. Inhale. Exhale to fold. Change. Second set, Trikonasana. Change. To the left, readjusting heels. Change. Last separate leg stretching pose. DBJ to the right, inhale. And exhale. Change. And turning over to the left. change. Coming back to face the front of the room. We have one long set of our tree pose here. Tadasana. Coming back to the center of the mat. I'll cue halfway for any toe standers, so free also to take your half toe stand variation, which is what I'll be doing for my pregnancy modification. So firming up through the left leg. Inhale, drawing the right foot up into the left hip crease, so the foot faces up towards the ceiling. You can use that left hand to help keep the right foot into place, drawing the right hand into the center of the chest. Lifting the heart and sternum, and beginning your pose here. Every inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. Every exhale, pushing through the heel of the left foot. Drawing the tailbone down towards the floor, pressing both hips forward towards the front of the room. Really opening up the right hip, allowing the right knee to draw softly back towards the wall behind you and slightly in towards the left. Option to take both hands together, center of the heart. If that right foot comfortably stays up in the hip crease without cycling. And if you're moving into toe stand, making sure you can keep that left leg strong, the right foot into place, hands come to heart center. Hinging forward at the hips, allowing the hands to drop under the shoulders. So this is that half toe stand option. Really getting a good stretch through the back of that hamstring, allowing the head to drop. If you're moving into full toe stand, then bending into the left knee, bringing the weight into the big toe pad of the left foot, and then one at a time, drawing the hands together, heart center. Taking a few more breaths here. Toe standers begin to change. And trees change. Drawing all that weight, tension, and focus into the right standing leg, firm the thigh. Drawing the left foot up into the hip crease, sole the foot up towards the ceiling. Left hand comes to the heart. Drawing the shoulders down out of the ears, pressing the sternum forward into that thumb. Starting to lengthen your exhale breath here. Halfway toe standers. Toe standers begin to change. And trees change, dropping the left foot down to the right, pausing in your mountain pose. And now preparing for your brief Shavasana. So fix your towels, your mat, grab a sip of water, and I'll meet you down on the mat. I'm just going to check my heat out here. So I'm actually going to do my Shavasana this direction so that you can watch as I move us into Pavana Uttasana. Heels in, toes out, palms face up towards the ceiling. Keeping that slight tuck of the chin, lengthening through the back of the neck. And coming back to your long, steady breath. Trying to keep the eyes open, the mind in the room. that soft bend in the fingers, soft bend at the elbows. Two more breaths. We'll move into the second half of class with Pranayama, just a single set. Drawing the right knee into the chest, taking your full interlace grip 2 inches below the right knee. Starting to bend the elbows to try to get the backs of the arms closer towards the floor. And then finding that tiny tuck of the chin so you can lengthen the back of the neck. Find an inhale, lift the belly towards the thigh. And on your exhale, start to engage the biceps and drag the thigh down towards the belly, trying to flatten the low back towards the floor. Keep the gaze towards the right knee. Another inhale, relax the biceps, allow the belly to lift. And then exhale, re-engage the arms, try to drag the elbows closer to the ribs, closer towards the mat. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, drag it down. Change, allow the right leg to soften. Draw the left knee into the chest, find your full grip. You can also go for your awkward grip since it's the second set. Try to drag both elbows down, especially that right side is going to want to pull up and away from the floor. So really pull down on the right. Find your gaze down towards the left kneecap. Inhale, belly lift. Exhale, arms engaged, drawing the upper thigh down into the low belly. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull down. Final breath. Change. Bringing both knees into the chest, you can lift your head and shoulders for a moment to find your elbow to elbow grip. If this is inaccessible, then coming down towards the forearms, the wrist, or even the fingertips to grip around the shins. And then allowing the head, the neck, the shoulders to touch down towards the mat. Turn your gaze down towards your knees. Inhale, belly lift. Exhale, use the arms to drag the thighs closer to the floor. Try to press your low back into the mat. Inhale again to lift away, almost as if your belly could blast away your hand grip. And then exhale, refirm the arms, drag the shoulders out of the ears, reach your tailbone towards the floor. Last breath in. And exhale, drag it down. Change, softly resting back into that Shavasana, finding that tiny chin tuck, keeping the eyes open. We'll transition with our stylized sit-up, so draw the legs together, firm the upper thighs, pull the toes towards the face, pull the toes towards the face, the heels towards the wall. Reach the arms up overhead and cross the thumbs. For a more challenging sit-up, try to keep your upper arms close to the ears instead of swinging them in front of you for that momentum. Take an inhale breath, try to pin your low back to the floor, and double exhale, inhale to lift. Second exhale to reach and extend for those toes. Spin around on your belly, 4 on the floor series, and this is where I'll be modifying slightly. We're going to do 2 sets of 4 on the floor. We'll get through all 4 poses and then come back for a second set. So the first pose, Bhujangasana, I can do this one with you here. So drawing the fingertips under the shoulders, squeezing the elbows in towards the ribs, pressing the tops of the feet towards the floor. Take an exhale breath, and without pressing the hands into the mat, press the feet, press the pubic bone into the floor, and lift. So I am using a little more pressure in my hands just to take that weight out of the belly, but you want to eventually be able to lift those hands without
the help of the arms to lift the shoulders. So press the tops of the feet down. This is a back bend. Hug the elbows in, pull the shoulders out of the ears. Lift your gaze and change, come down. Ardha Salabhasana is next. So for those of you that are not doing the modifications along with me, the traditional version will have you flip your palms around. So the palms are going to be facing down on your mat. Pinky fingers touch, thumbs to the out, to the right, to the left. And you're going to be lying on the backs of your hands here. Allow that left leg to just go limp and really lengthen the back right leg really firm. Press both arms down into the mat. The chin can be gently resting on the top of the mat, or the mouth can be down on the floor. My modification here is going to be just a forearm plank and a lift of that leg. So let's prepare for Ardha Salabhasana. Find your hand grip. Press your palms down into the floor. Allow the left leg to just go limp beside you. Really lengthen and firm your right leg. Lengthen the right leg to the back of the room. Press the hands down into the floor. And now lift your right leg up. Press down through palms, forearms, elbows, shoulders, and change. So let's switch sides here. Allow your right heel to relax out to the side. Fully engage through the left leg. Press your palms down, your elbows down. Pull your shoulders out of the ears. Pubic bone down. And now exhale, lift the left leg up. Keep lengthening the crown of the head to the front of the room. Reach your fingertips towards the back of the room and change. Now both legs will lift together. So see if you can squeeze those upper arms, those elbows and forearms a little bit closer towards one another. Spread the fingers wide underneath you. Draw the feet together, the knees together, the ankles together, the upper thighs together like you had one cobra tail. Draw your mouth and nose down to the floor. So I'm going to cue this pose and not demo this one here. We're going to lift both legs together at the same time. So with my cue, let's change the breath. Take a short exhale breath. Take a full inhale. And now exhale, press into both arms, lift both legs up. Take another inhale once you're on the floor. Squeeze those upper thighs together again. And one last exhale as you lift both feet higher towards the ceiling. Press the palms down, lengthen the neck, and change, come down. Purna Salabhasana is next, so you're still on your belly on the mat. Chin again could be resting on the top of your mat, gaze forward, or if that's uncomfortable for the neck, just keep the mouth down on the floor. Keep those upper thighs together, those inner knees, those inner ankles, and the big toes together, one cobra tail. Send the arms out wide, like a V shape or a wide T here, like airplane arms, and we'll find our full locust together. My modification here is going to be bridge pose. But on your exhale breath, you'll be lifting both arms and legs together. So firm those legs, press your pubic bone down into the floor. Exhale, inhale, lift. 10-second pose, keep firming around the elbows. Hug back together, knees, ankles, upper thighs, big toes. Lift one more inch and change, come down. Your last pose of your four on the floor here, set one, is your Dhanurasana bow pose. Again, this is another pose on the belly that I'll be modifying. But with your chin forward on the mat, bend both knees. So I'm going to modify this one, a similar experience. Bend the knees, reach back. The hands are going to grab the outsides of the feet. You'll be reaching for the right and the left foot at the same time, and I'll be alternating. Pull the shoulders out of the ears, press the pubic bone into the floor. Exhale. Inhale, lift both feet off the floor. Again, I'm modifying, so just one foot at a time for me. Inhale, pull the shoulders out of the ears. On the exhale, see if you can lift more of the thigh, more of the knee away from the mat. You're halfway. This is a 20-second pose, so keep kicking. Try to lengthen through the elbows. Extend your fingertips towards the back of the room, and now use both hands to lift your toes up and overhead. Change. Taking your Shavasana on the belly, turn your head to the right. Allow the left ear to press down into the mat. Toes will come in and the heels will drop out wide to the right and to the left. Arms can rest down by the side body with those palms facing up towards the ceiling. Keep that soft bend at the fingertips, soft bend at the elbows. And I'll be taking my rest modification in child's pose here. back, second set, 4 on the floor, back to Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Pressing the tops of the feet down into the floor. Your knees might even peel away from the mat before you begin the pose. Hug those elbows in, pull the shoulders back, press the feet down, press the pubic bone down, exhale. Cobra Pose, inhale. Exhale, see if you can really press through the tops of the feet, lift the knees towards the ceiling. One more breath, inhale, drag the heart forward. Change. Half locust, Ardha Salabhasana, round 2. So we're flipping the hands around underneath us. Lift one hip, slide the arm under. Lift the other hip, slide the opposite arm under. So you're trying to pin your forearms down between your hips. If that's not available, the hands might start a little wider, but we're eventually working them inward. Allow that left heel to drop out to the side. So no work in that left leg, that left glute. Firm the right leg. Inhale. And exhale, lift. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change. Onto the second side, so allow the right heel to drop out to the side. Really lengthen the left leg back. Inhale. And exhale to lift. 10-second pose. Find another breath, another inhale. Try not to clench the jaw and change, come down. So I'm just going to cue your final round. Draw the mouth and nose down towards the floor. See if you can get those arms a little closer together underneath your hips. Spread the fingers wide. Hug together the upper thighs, knees, ankles, big toes. Changing the breath. Take a short exhale. Big full in. Exhale, press arms down, lift both legs up. 10, 9, 8, take another breath, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and change. All right, let it go. So gracefully coming out of that pose. Preparing for Purna Salabhasana, your full locust pose. You're staying on your belly. The arms will go out wide, the legs will come together. We'll lift arms and legs together. My modification here, my bridge pose, my awkward grip here. Start to firm the upper thighs. Press the tops of the feet to the floor just to firm the legs. Take an inhale breath and let it go. Here we go, lift. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and change. Come down. Final pose, 4 on the floor. Your second round of Dhanurasana, bow pose. Again, mine modified here. So I'm coming down to the left forearm and I'll be kicking into the right foot for 10 seconds and then the left foot for 10 seconds. You are down on your belly, reaching both arms back, grabbing the outsides of the feet. So bending the knees, drawing the heels in towards the seat. Find your grip. Take an exhale breath and begin. 10 seconds for me on the right side. Keep your breath going. Just a good reminder for you maybe when I switch to that you should be finding another inhale, another exhale. Halfway. Change. Coming into your Shavasana on the belly, the right ear will be down towards the floor, gaze goes to the left. Toes in, heels fall away, palms face up, and I'm taking child's pose here. We're going to be transitioning now into our kneeling series. So I will urge you to maybe take a quick child's pose if the low back is feeling a little cranky after the 4 on the floor series. Grab a sip of water. We'll meet at the top of our mat here. I'll be cueing one long set of fixed firm pose. Starting hips on heels in Virasana style seat. Heart lifts, shoulders pull down, shoulders stay stacked over hips and hips on heels. And we'll begin the pose here. So starting by separating the heels, using the hands to drag that calf flesh out of the way, allowing yourself a little more space for the seat to lower between the heels. And you know your limits as well. So if you notice a lot of strain on the front of the knees, the tops of the ankles, then coming back into your starting position and then eventually working your way into that lower seat. But I know a lot of you are well practiced. So if you've got that seat comfortably down towards the mat, like you can't even slip a piece of paper underneath your seat, then allowing yourself to slowly recline, coming onto the palms of the hands, maybe to the forearms and elbows, or still tucking that tailbone down towards the heels, lowering all the way onto the shoulders and opting for your elbow to elbow grip up overhead. So pausing here, sending the breath into the top of the thigh, the top of the knee, the tops of the ankles, tucking the seat towards the knees as if you could lower your low back towards the floor. Softening in the face, trying to keep the breaths long and steady. If there's a little bit of separation right to left with the knees, that's okay. We'll eventually work to bring them back together, but a little separation is fairly normal. We just don't want the knees to lift vertically away from the floor. So that's your stop sign. It means you've gone too far, you're putting too much strain on the knees. So come back, go back a step towards the beginning of the posture, and stay there until you're able to keep both knees on the mat. 2 more breaths here. Change. Slowly coming back up to seated. We'll spin around, take a quick rest on the back. Quick Shavasana here. And back to your stylized sit-up. Arms up overhead, thumbs crossed. Inhale. Double exhale. Finding your grip of the toes. Ardha Karmasana, half tortoise. We'll do 2 sets back to back and then take our rest in Shavasana. Hips on heels, arms up overhead, coming back to that strong grip. Take an inhale breath, just those thumbs crossed. Exhale, trying to keep the arms firm, the spine straight, and attempting to allow the forehead to reach the ground before the hands. So if you can see me sideways here, really engaging the core, engaging the core, engaging the core, forehead, arms. And that might take a while, so whatever happens in between, you're drawing your forehead and nose down to the mat, re-extending the arms long. And if you want a little extra, you're going to be pressing the pinky side edge of the hand down into the floor, lifting the wrists and elbows. That's optional. But if you're not here, you still want to really lengthen the fingertips towards the front of the mat to allow the hips to reach towards the back of the room. Press the hips down on the heels. Keep the chin out of the throat. Keep the gaze down towards the mat. And now refirm the arms. Press the hips onto the heels and come up just the same way you went down. Pausing. And moving into second set, arms up overhead, second set hand grip. Inhale and exhale to lower. So I realize the sound might be a little muffled with me down on the floor, so I'll be cueing you seated here. Keep extending the fingertips towards the top of your mat as the hips extend towards the back of the mat. So lengthening the spine in 2 opposite directions. Keep pulling the shoulders down out of the ears, finding that internal rotation of the elbows so that the shoulders externally rotate. Lots of space in the neck here. Keep the chin out of the throat. Press the hips back as much as you're able. Press the hips down as much as you're able. And change. Come back up to seated. Extend the arms down. Quick spin around. Quick rest in Shavasana. Coming back up with your sit-up. Inhale. Double exhale. Camel pose. Ustrasana. Coming to the tops of the knees. Knees separate hip-width distance here. Hands come to the low back for support. Try to drag those shoulders together. Lower the shoulders down out of the ears. Take an inhale breath. On the exhale, press the hips forward towards the knees. Reach the shoulders back towards the heels and slowly lift the gaze towards the ceiling. If you're comfortable. If not, you can keep the chin tucked and just continue to press the hips forward. If you see half of it on the back wall, you can drop one hand at a time, grab onto the heels, and then press those hips forward again as if the hip bones The front of the shins and the knees can press against a wall in front of you. Dropping the head back, lifting the heart towards the ceiling. And change, hands come to the low back for support. Slowly coming back up, resting hips on heels and pausing in your Virasana style seat. Second set, camel pose, back to the tops of the knees. Hands to the low back for support. Inhale and exhale to begin. Change. Spin around to rest. Transition with your sit up. The last of your four on the floor poses, Sasangasana or rabbit pose. Hips on heels, hands reach back towards the feet. Lift the heart and sternum, drag the shoulders down out of the ears. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, tuck the chin. Continue to curl yourself down and forward, allowing the forehead to rest down towards the tops of the kneecaps. Gaze goes up into the belly, hands reach back and clasp the heels, and the sits bones lift up and away. So I'll demo from the side here. Keep pressing down through the knees, the shins, the tops of the feet. Keep the chin tucked into the throat. Keep the eyes open, gazing into the belly, and see if you can lift the belly higher towards the ceiling. Change. Keep the chin tucked. Set the hips down. Uncurl yourself one vertebrae at a time, rolling up to seated. Again, it might be a little hard to hear my cueing with a muffled and internally, so I'm going to go ahead and just verbally cue the next round. Sasangasana, rabbit pose, hands back towards the heels. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck the chin, round down, curl forward, find your forehead to knee. So a lot of times you're tight in the back of the neck or tight in the low back. If it's difficult to find your forehead to knee connection, you can certainly lift one knee, walk it forward, lift the opposite knee, walk it forward, and attempt to get the knees to meet the head instead of the other way around. And then again, we don't want to put too much pressure on the top of the head. So if it feels like there's a lot of weight on the head, drag the shoulders out of the ears. See if you can lengthen through both arms. Press the feet down, find a little more lift through the belly. And then I always like to work on finding some space in the throat. Even though the chin is tucking internally in the throat, lifting it up, finding a nice clear airway for that breath to flow all the way from the nose all the way to the low belly. Set the hips down, uncurl, restack the spine, and let's spin around to rest. With your sit up, arms up, double exhale. Spin around, face the front of the room. We're going to move into that cool down, one long set of Janu Shavasana. Extending the right foot to the top corner of your mat, folding the left foot to the inner thigh. Arms come up overhead, find your full interlace grip. Turn the torso over the right leg, pull the toes towards the face. Inhale. Exhale, round down, forehead to knee pose. So there's three items on the checklist we want to make sure we have in this pose. The first is forehead to knee. If you've got tight hamstrings, you can start with a bent knee and eventually lower the heel any amount until you kind of reach that sweet spot where there's no way you can keep forehead and knee together. Stop there. Rest the forehead down on the knee. The second must-have is your full interlace grip. Keep even the thumbs crossed underneath the toes. And the third is a flexed foot. Pull the toes towards the face. And I always like to remind everybody that you can flex also from the big toe pad of the foot, getting even a deeper stretch underneath the plantar fascia of that foot. So not just the toes, really pull back through the entire top of the foot, press the heel forward, and that also will help to lengthen hamstring. Let's change, come up. Send the opposite leg forward, so left leg forward, fold the right leg in. Arms up overhead, you can opt for that second set hand grip. Inhale, exhale, round and fold. Always trying to soften the inner shoulder, so on this side would be your right shoulder down towards the floor, squaring right shoulder with the left, allowing the chest to puff up towards the ceiling, a big rounded back, and the chin to draw closer to the front of the chest. Change. Send both legs long and reverse your sit-up. So rolling down one vertebrae at a time when the shoulders hit the floor, coming back up with that stylized sit-up. And preparing for Paschimottanasana. So again, I'm going to demo this one from this side. Excuse the baby belly here. So you are going to, I prefer to start with bent knees. You can always start straight legs. Move the seat cushion out of the way so you're sitting and rooted down on those sits bones. Again, straight legs or bent knees, your choice. Take your peace sign grip, 2 peace sign fingers and thumbs. Extend forward and grab for the big toe. So the reason I like to do this pose sideways is we want a nice flat back here. Take an inhale breath, and on your exhale, extend the heels forward any amount to where the hamstrings start to kind of feel uncomfortable, or where you notice the rounding and cating in the spine. So come back to that straight spine, lengthen the heels forward, pull back the toes, the big toe pads of the feet, and shift your heels forward to lower the back of the knees towards the mat. This is an internal thigh rotation, so move the knees inward, move the upper thighs inward, press the big toes together to pull the pinky side edges of the feet back towards the face. Lift the belly and reach your pubic bone down to the floor so the sit bones reach back towards the wall behind you. Take one more inhale, lengthen the crown of the head. Exhale, bend the elbows, pull, and change, come up. We'll spin around, take one last Shavasana here. And coming up with your final sit-up of practice, inhale. Final spinal twist. We'll take the right foot reaching up and over the left knee. Option to keep the left leg long or fold it to the outside of the right seat. Just make sure you're not sitting on the heel. Right hand to the low back, left fingertips to the ceiling. Inhale, and exhale, twist over the front leg. Turning the gaze softly over the right shoulder. Pressing the heel of the right hand down into the floor. So I'll do the pose from the back side. So try to get the heel of the hand as close to the spine as you can. The elbow is close to the middle back, almost as if it could press as a surrogate spine, helping you to lift and lengthen so you can rotate deeper over the right shoulder. One last breath to the right. And change. Side 2, we'll send the left leg up and over the right knee. Right leg can fold to the outer right sit bone or extend forward. Left hand to the low back, right arm reaches up, and take your twist to the left. Pressing down to the left toes on the floor, turning the gaze softly over the left shoulder. Shoulders reach down, top of the head lifts towards the ceiling, lengthening the spine. 2 more breaths. Change. We'll end our practice with one set of Kapalabhati breathing. So generally in my 60-minute classes, I lead through 60 breaths, 30 slow breaths, and 30 quick pace breaths, all in a row. So hang tight with me. I'll cue you all the way to the end of practice. Take a full inhale breath and a full exhale. Half breath in. Optionally, you can take your fist with the right hand, cover it with the left, and fold forward, allowing the forehead to drop to the mat, the elbows to drop out to the side, taking a full recovery breath into that fist. Or you can spin around and take your final rest in Shavasana. Thank you for letting me guide you through your 60-minute hot practice. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you found a nice space heater, humidifier to keep warm. But we can't wait to have you back in the studio. Hopefully this will suffice for now, and we love our One Tree community. Thank you for following us. Thank you for supporting us, and yoga on.